So much to get through. I hope you are very well. Now, Harry and Meghan are brutally mocked on television in the United States and the UK. This couple are now an international laughingstock. I've got the inside story. Harry's former priest tells him to give up the victimhood and to man up. Meghan's Mother's Day post on social media backfires horribly. And Princess Katherine shares unseen footage of her wedding anniversary trip to the Highlands of Scotland with Prince William. Absolutely stunning stuff. That is at the end. But first, the Sussexes may have caused emotional destruction with the publishing of Harry's horribly traitorous book, Spare. But two can play at that game, and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are about to get a taste of their own medicine, as Thomas Markle Jr., Meghan's half-brother, has announced that he will release a tell-all book about his estranged sister. Now, one thing we know for sure is it's going to be deeply uncomfortable reading for Meghan, a woman more protective of her public image than a third world dictator. So Thomas Markle Jr. is a great guy. He is Meghan's half-brother. He's a bit older, born in 1966. The son of Thomas Markle Sr., of course, and the son of Thomas's first wife, Rosalind Lovelace, which I've got to say, Rosalind Lovelace, that conjures images of an adult movie star, doesn't it? I'm not sure I'm going to Google Rosalind Lovelace. I might be shocked by the video that pops up. So, a different mother, same father. And he's a regular guy. Unlike Meghan Markle, unlike the Duchess of Sussex, don't you know I'm not Meghan Markle anymore? I'm Meghan Sussex. Thomas isn't like that. Thomas won't correct you about how you say his name because he is Thomas Markle Jr. He is a regular guy. In fact, he's a window fitter, which is a great, great vocation. And he lives in the real world. So that is him. And he grew up in California with Meghan during her early years, but drifted apart long before she married Prince Harry. Now, he's repeatedly said that Meghan forgot her roots and abandoned her family after gaining fame. Well, we know that to be true. He hasn't spoken to Meghan in a decade and, wait for it, was not invited to her wedding to Prince Harry in 2018. How, in goodness' name, how in any universe can you not invite your own half-brother to your wedding? Now, I got married many years ago, and there were loads of people there I didn't like. Awful people. Some very unpleasant aunties, some deeply unattractive cousins, and some unwanted friends. But it's a wedding. And what you do is you invite the people that you have to invite. How can you not invite your half-brother? Absolutely shocking. I mean, I honestly, I cannot compute. Unless Thomas Markle Jr. was incredibly cruel and vicious and nasty to Meghan, and whatever was, that of course that's not the case. His great crime, Thomas Markle Jr.'s great crime, was the same crime of his father Thomas, which is just to be a regular guy. That's not good enough for Meghan, is it? For, don't you know I'm not Meghan Markle anymore? I'm Meghan Sussex! So, Thomas Markle Jr. is just like his dad. He's a normal human being. Meghan doesn't like ordinary people. She doesn't like the public. That's why she hated being a royal. She was so bored opening hospital wings and receiving bouquets and bars of soap and shaking hands with what we would describe in the UK as the great unwashed, a euphemism for the public. You see, I love the public. I am the public. This show, the Mark Dolan show, belongs to you, right? And so I'm devoted to you. You are my audience. This is a family. This is a community that we are building. And but Meghan's not like that. She doesn't want any contact with the public. She wants their money. She wants the fame. She wants the power, the status. Don't you know I'm not Meghan Markle anymore? It's outrageous. I have to tell you, because this is such a busy video and I've got so many stories to tell you, including Harry's priest telling him to man up, which is just a thing of beauty. But I'm actually reeling from the fact that Thomas Markle Jr. was not invited to her wedding. He is the half brother. And I don't have a lot of intel on what kind of brother he was to Meghan. But if his father is anything to go by, then Thomas was also loving and caring. But he's been cut out by Meghan Markle for many years because he's not fashionable. He doesn't look like Tom Cruise or George Clooney. And he's a window fitter, which is so embarrassing for Meghan, that he has a real job where he's got a skill and he works with his hands. I mean, Meghan probably wouldn't allow him in the house, you know. If he made a visit to their Montecito mansion, she'd put him in one of the little log cabins outside where, like, the help go, you know, and when the workmen come in and things like that. And all the guys that do the gardening that Meghan pretends to do. There'll be an outhouse, won't there? There'll be some lowly outhouse. And that's where poor old Thomas Markle Jr. would be accommodated. So anyway, he criticised Meghan in the past. In an open letter to Prince Harry in 2018, he called his half-sister Meghan... I love this. Are you ready for this? Seriously, I'm going to just have a sip of decaf because you're going to love this sentence. If you've got a drink, then grab it now. By the way, when you're watching the show, you are allowed to have coffee, tea, still or sparkling water, and alcohol. I will permit it on the show. I permit, a bit like the Pope. I mean, I know it's silly to compare myself to the Pope, but you've got to compare yourself to someone. You've got to aim high, haven't you? And he allows his congregation to enjoy a little wine. So whatever it is that tickles your fancy. By the way, if it's Australia, so many of my Australian, New Zealand viewers are having breakfast, or it's the middle of the night down under. So, and then in America, it can be breakfast, lunch, dinner, you name it. So we're a very global show. But are you ready for this? In 2018, he called Meghan a jaded, shallow, conceited woman who will make a joke of you and the royal family heritage. That is a warning letter that he wrote to Prince Harry in 2018. A jaded, shallow, conceited woman who will make a joke of you and the royal family heritage. What happened, folks? That is exactly what she did. Thomas Markle Jr. predicted it because he's the half-brother and he watched her grow up and he knows what she's like. He claimed that Meghan ripped through the family and used her father until she got what she wanted. That is provably true. In the last video, I pointed out that he spent the best part of $200,000 on her education and got nothing back. What did he get in return? Cancellation. He didn't go to the wedding either, and they've not spoken since. He accused her of using her Hollywood fame to climb the ladder, then leaving the family behind, which is exactly what she did. This Thomas Markle Jr. guy is like a modern-day Nostradamus. He's predicted everything correctly. I wonder what he thinks is going to happen to interest rates and inflation. I might ask him for some betting tips because the guy knows what he's talking about. So he's going to do a tell-all book. At the moment, do you want to know what Thomas Markle Jr. is doing at the moment, right? He's such a bad person that he's not allowed to go to Meghan's wedding because he's such a terrible human being. Do you know what he's doing at the moment? He is looking after his 80-year-old father, Thomas Markle Sr., in the Philippines. They're in Cebu, which is a place, it's very poor. I mean, no doubt it's got nice bits, but a third of the population live below the poverty line. Poor old Thomas Markle is one of those flirting with that. And he's in an apartment which is next to a 7-lane highway. And poor old Thomas Markle Jr. is looking after his pops, something that Meghan is resolutely not doing. So he's confirmed plans to publish a tell-all book about Meghan's early life and family. He reportedly said, it's going to be good. It's been swooped up real quick. It is coming out. Well, of course it has. I hope Thomas Markle Jr. gets paid a lot of money. Harry got $20 million. He got $20 million for spare. I really hope that Thomas Markle Jr. gets a good $5, $6, $7 million to dish the dirt on Duchess Difficult. It's not easy to say, by the way. That's a lot of D's. Ditch the dirt on Duchess Difficult. So, she is now... Do you know what I'm so happy about? She now has to sweat over what's going to be in that book. She's got months now of sleepless nights and worrying about what's going to be in that book. And you know what she fears the most? Can you guess what she fears most? The truth. That's what she fears. because she's a fake. Meghan, and by the way, she's smart, okay? I respect what she has, in inverted commas, achieved. She gets what she wants. Don't you know, I'm not Meghan Markle anymore. I'm Meghan. She gets what she wants. She's smart. I don't know if she's intelligent. Let me know in the comments. Is Meghan intelligent? Let me know in the comments. But you must admit she's canny. She's like a sly fox. She's streetwise. She gets what she wants. And she's gone very far on very little. I think we can agree that. Is she clever? Let me know. But one thing she doesn't like, she's a phony, she's a fake, she doesn't like the truth. And that's what's going to be in that book. I can't wait for the book to come out. I'm going to pre-order it. The second it comes out, I shall read it. I will stay up all night reading it, and I'll give you the absolute gory details, but it's not going to be pretty. And you know what? It's going to be full of truth bombs, and she won't be able to sue because it will be true. And even though they love suing people, Harry and Meghan love suing people. Why does Harry sue people all the time? Why is Meghan constantly suing people? Well, because that's a flex, isn't it? It's power. It's controlling people. And I don't think that your stepbrother can be controlled because he knows where the bodies are buried. And I wish him well. So there you go. Can't wait for that book to come out. Now, next up, Prince Harry's childhood priest has delivered a blistering verdict on his BBC interview and ongoing feud with King Charles, urging Harry to wait for it, give up the victimhood and pursue true forgiveness himself. So this is Canon Angela Trilby. And she, let's be honest, has fired a cannon straight in the direction of the H-bomb, Harry, my husband. She preached a sermon at Eton when he was there. By the way, he went to Eton. What a waste of money that was. This guy is thick as two short planks, isn't he? He is a couple of biro pens short of a pencil case. He's a couple of keys short of a calculator. He's a couple of cakes short of a bakery. He's a couple of cells short of an organism. Harry is just, you know what I mean? Humpy dumpy dumpy dump. World's least happy millionaire. Humpy dumpy dumpy dump. Thick as two short planks. And so he went to Eton. I mean, seriously, Charles should ask for his money back. Because that is not, I mean, you got no bang for your buck there, have you? So he was at Eton, which, by the way, I mean, I'm sure you know, but it's one of the elite public schools of the United Kingdom. And Winston Churchill went there, I think. Apologies if I'm wrong. But lots of prime ministers and authors and scientists and all the rest of it. So he went to Eton, and the priest, was Canon Angela Trilby, she made a sermon while he was there. And she also attended Princess Diana's funeral. So she's been absolutely ruthless about the BBC interview. And I love this because she is a cleric. She's a woman of faith. And therefore you'd expect her to pull her punches a bit. She does not. She said, because we know that Harry said that Charles isn't talking to him. He doesn't know how much longer he's got left. The loss of his police protection was a good old-fashioned establishment stitch-up. That's what's being said by Harry in the BBC interview. Canon Trilby, who I like the sound of, believes that these statements show his ongoing grief, rage, and confusion. She urges Harry to try giving up the role of victimhood in order to truly free himself from the hold of the past and what it appears to have on him. Give up the victimhood! If that is not a mic drop, I don't know what is. She's so right about that. She sounds like a great priest. I'd love to hear her sermons. Psychological insight from Canon Trilby. She grieves for the Harry that she once knew. She said, wait for this, I grieve for that ginger-topped teenager I once preached to. I believe that he's a decent man, but so far he's found no way to switch off the trauma in his head. On Harry's claim to have forgiven Charles, he claims to have forgiven his father, says Trilby, and the royal family, but it's clearly a qualified forgiveness. She's so right. It's a qualified forgiveness, which means it's got no value at all. It's fake, fake, fake. It's not forgiveness at all, because forgiveness is unconditional. She goes on, what he might have picked up from attending morning service in Eton Chapel was that forgiveness involves not only making peace with the offender, but eventually, and at great cost, giving up the role of victimhood. The latter is far harder, far more demanding, and in the end, far more important. But the logic of the Christian faith suggests that it's only when victims forgive from the heart that they themselves can find liberation. If only all priests were as really good as that rock star priest. Isn't she fantastic? Canon Trilby. I'll keep an eye on her wise words. But she's spot on about that. He is a victim. He's a professional victim. He has monetized victimhood, and it's done him no favors, and it's embarrassing to watch. Speaking of embarrassing, Peter Hunt, normally a great columnist at the Observer newspaper, has lost the plot. He said that Charles and William are both stubborn, and I suspect no one is encouraging them to budge. He's another of these lunatic journalists. He's a prize numpty who thinks that it's in Charles and William's court to resolve this issue. He said a bitter family dispute played out globally is not a good look. It will feature negatively in assessments of the current reign by historians. How dare he try to victim blame Charles and William? This journalist, this prize numpty, this absolute silly sausage on acid is called Peter Hunt of the Observer. He's trying to blame William and Charles for this debacle of the family split. He says it's not a good look. Well, I would say that Spare wasn't a good look. That the Oprah Winfrey interview in which the royal family were accused of racism, that wasn't a good look, was it? Which they then rode back on and called it unconscious bias. The podcasts, the Netflix documentary, none of that was a good look. And if you want to ask my opinion, I think the historians will judge Harry not Charles and William. And how about this? On Charles's illness, Peter Hunt says, which rhymes with English rhyming slang, let's not go there, it's a family show. He says, on Charles's illness, having cancer will have prompted Charles to reassess his priorities. He'd be wise, says this arrogant journalist, he'd be wise to take his wounded son at his word and attempt reconciliation. Who are you to tell the King of the United Kingdom what would be wise and what wouldn't? I don't believe in generally locking up journalists, but I might consider incarcerating the Observer's Peter Hunt for maybe 24 hours so he can have a little bit of a think about himself. Right, moving on. I've got lots of stories to pack in before we go. Saturday Night Live, a great American institution. It's been around for years. It's a live show. It's comedy. It has generated many famous careers, including Adam Sandler, Chevy Chase, Jim Carrey, I'm pretty sure. Was Jim Carrey on SNL? Apologies if I got that wrong. But definitely Chevy Chase and Mike Myers. Anyway, lots of these people. It's been a recruiting sergeant for some of the finest comedic actors and writers in the entertainment scene. SNL. I love it. It's great. So, I'm afraid to say, here's what I will say about SNL. SNL, it's a little bit woke. Okay? It's on the liberal side. Now, this show, the Mark Dolan show, is here for everyone. Left, right, middle, green, purple. I don't care. Because this is a big old family. This is a community of like-minded people, okay? And you think what you think, and that will be respected. So but I will just say, SNL is on the liberal side. It's left-leaning, which, by the way, most satirical comedy is, to be fair. It's certainly not a conservative program. And, sometimes it's crazy woke. But then, occasionally SNL will surprise you and it will turn on its own. And it's done that with Harry and Meghan, because certainly in the run-up to their marriage and when they got married and during Megxit, when they went to North America, the liberal media and the lefties were kind of all in with Harry and Meghan. But that's changed and they've turned on them. So The Guardian, The Guardian's a British newspaper, crazy woke. It's crazy woke, crazy woke. They have had enough of Harry and Meghan. And a recent article by Marina Hyde, who is what I like to describe as a millionaire aristocratic socialist, my favorite kind. And there's nothing like a minted liberal, is there? It warms the cockles of your heart. Marina Hyde talented lady, great writer. And she said to Harry in a column recently, Harry, pay for your own blinking security. Like it or lump it. So the well of goodwill from the left-leaning media has disappeared in the direction of Harry and Meghan, and SNL have absolutely obliterated them. Take a look.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
Outstanding comedy and brilliantly harsh. Now, speaking of harsh, the public were furious with Meghan Markle's Mother's Day post on May the 11th of this year. Of course, that was Mother's Day in North America and lots of other parts of the world. If you are a lovely mummy watching the show, may I congratulate you on the amazing job of being a mother. You are the source of all life, all wisdom, all practicality. And my own dear mother watches these videos. So may God bless every mummy on the planet, including my own. But the issue you've got, the way it works with Mother's Day, is that the children congratulate the mother. The children celebrate the mother. The children send cards. What you don't do is celebrate yourself on Mother's Day when you are the mother, which of course is what Meghan did. So she's been on Instagram because she lives on Instagram. And she posted a tribute to herself featuring a photo of her with Archie and Lily from behind on their Montecito balcony. Hopefully it was the Montecito balcony and not a war zone in Mexico where they look to have celebrated Archie's 6th birthday. Her message read, "Happy Mother's Day. Cheers to juggling it all with joy." So this is basically her saying, oh, it's so hard to be a mother. That's what she's saying, guys. She is not only celebrating herself, she's actually moaning. So she's indulging in victimhood as well. Let's just repeat that. Happy Mother's Day. Why are you wishing yourself a happy Mother's Day? Why? Cheers to juggling it all with joy. So what she's thinking, juggling it all, which is really hard, but with joy. In other words, my life is so hard, but I do it with a smile because I am a modern day Mother Teresa. And I'm just so good for the world and I'm so good for my family. I'm the most perfect mother. She goes on, and to these two gems who still attempt to climb Mama Mountain, smother me with kisses and make every day the most memorable adventure, because of course it's all about her. Being your mum, she says, is the greatest privilege of my life. I too love you more than all the stars in the sky, all the raindrops and all the salt on all the French fries in all the world. What is she going on about with the French fries and the McDonald's hamburgers and the Happy Meal? Does she get takeout? I think so. I've watched her cooking. I don't think she ever makes anything in that kitchen. I think it's all delivered by some poor, lowly citizen on the minimum wage that she won't even have contact with. When the takeout arrives, it goes into that outdoor cubicle where the staff are kept, and then someone else brings it into the house. Someone that's allowed access to the Duchess. Don't you know I'm not Meghan Markle anymore, I'm Meghan Sussex. So it's really, really shocking that she's posted this to tell the world what a great mother she is and how loved she is. Before we go, let's end on something very positive, because Princess Katherine has released a new short film to mark the start of Mental Health Awareness Week. And the video includes never before seen footage of Princess Katherine and Prince William during their wedding anniversary trip to the Isle of Mull in Scotland just a few weeks ago. It's the first video in her new Mother Nature series, focusing on the link between nature and mental health. Katherine's personal reflections on nature and healing are as follows. In a heartfelt voiceover, she said, "Over the past year, nature has been my sanctuary." Don't forget, she's been battling cancer. She added, "The natural world's capacity to inspire us, nurture us, and help us heal and grow is boundless and has been understood for generations." In another part of the film, she said, "Spring is the season of rebirth, of hope, and new beginnings. From the dark days of winter, the outside world quietly awakens with new life, and there comes a sense of optimism, anticipation, and positive, hopeful change." She goes on, "Just as nature revives and renews, so too can we. Isn't she a wise and talented person? Isn't that a wonderful video? And isn't that a great sentiment? And isn't that what making a positive difference looks like? That she understands the link between Mother Nature and mental health, the importance of nature for children, but for all of us. I remember reading in Spare, Prince Harry mentioned that Queen Elizabeth, if she didn't spend an hour in the fresh air every day, she'd get very grumpy. Well, absolutely right, because Katherine, like the Queen, is attached to nature, sees its power. Thank goodness she's made a great health recovery, and long may it continue. I've got no doubt that all those walks outside in the greenery of Sandringham and the Windsor estate will do her the power of good. I'll say that her video did me the power of good. Such a treat and such a lovely way to end today's video. Folks, I've got so much more material to come. There will be a video tomorrow because the stories are piling up thick and fast. Thank you for your incredible support for this brand new channel. Please like, subscribe and hit the notification reminder bell so that when an emergency video comes, you'll be alerted. I can't wait to see you for the next one. Stay awesome. Bye for now.